Good girl. Good boy. Stay. Stay. Oh, hi, Liam. You're just in time. Daddy's about to read a book to Moscow and Jane and little monkey, your friend over here. What book should we read today? I think we're going to read Goodnight Moon. Does Puppies want to read Goodnight Moon? Okay. Goodnight Moon. In the great green room, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture of... There's a telephone, there's a bunny rabbit in the bed, and there's a red balloon, and a picture of bears playing cards. That's a very green room. The picture was of the cow jumping over the moon. Mrrr. That's a really high jumping cow. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. I don't imagine that's comfortable for bears because they like walking on all fours. They don't sit in chairs. And 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens. There's the kittens. There's 2. 2 kittens is a pair. And what does 2 kittens wear on their hands? Well, if they walked upright like those bears that were sitting in chairs did, they'd wear mittens. And there's 2 pairs. And a little toy house and a young mouse. Where is that mouse at? Oh, you're going to have to look really close, Liam. There's that little tiny mouse over there. He's hiding from those kitties because they'll eat him. Remember, Bobo, kitties aren't nice to other animals. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. Mush is like when Mommy tries to cook oatmeal. And a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. That's like when Liam's too loud and Mommy says, hush. Good night, room. Good night, pair of kittens. Good night, pair of mittens. Good night, old lady says, hush. And she's saying hush to the little young mouse. He's right there. He's really tiny. Can you see the kittens? And the red balloon? And the bowl full of overcooked oatmeal that Mommy made for you? Good night, moon. There's a big old round moon, and it's going down. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. That's a crescent moon. It's smaller than the big moon, and the cow's jumping over it. But he's got to watch out because the crescent moon has 2 pointy ends. That might hurt the cow. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. There's bears and chairs right there. And a red balloon. And there's the light. And there's a sleepy little tiny bunny right there that's saying goodnight to those bears. Good night, kittens. And good night, mittens. There's only 1 pair of mittens now. That's 2 mittens. That's a pair. Good night, clocks. And good night, socks. Aw. The little kitties are falling asleep on the rug right there. And the little bunny, he's all wrapped up in a ball, staying warm, about to go to sleep. He doesn't want to eat that nasty mush though. Good night, little house. And good night, tiny mouse. That's a very tiny little mouse right there. That's a mighty small house too. Good night, comb, and good night, brush. Do you know what combs and brushes are for? That's for making your hair pretty. Daddy doesn't have much hair, so he doesn't have to use one anymore. Good night, nobody. There's nobody there. It's empty. Good night, nasty mush. We don't like mush. We do like Mommy's oatmeal, though. It's yummy. And good night to the old lady whispering, hush. That's all she says. I don't think she speaks very good English. Somebody just told her hush meant everything. Good night, noises everywhere. It's dark in the little rabbit's room. The only thing he can see is the big bright moon. Good night, moon. The end. That's the end of Goodnight, Moon. That's the end of our story time. But you know what time it is now? It's time for us to give the doggies a snack. Come here, Jane. You want a snack? Do you want a snack? I'll show you how to gently give doggies a snack. Jane, you want a snack? What you do is you put the snack in your lips and you say gentle, and then you give it to the doggies. Gentle. Good girl. And you pet them and you say good doggy. Now it's Moscow's turn. You put it in your lips and you gently give it to the doggies. And you say, good boy, Moscow. William, that's the end of story time. And that's the end of snack time for the doggies. So it's time to say goodbye to Moscow. Goodbye, Moscow. Goodbye to Jane. Goodbye, Jane. Good night, Liam's little monkey friend. I had a good story time with you, Liam. I really like reading books to you. Daddy's still in Afghanistan, and he loves you more and more every day that goes by. But Daddy will be back home with you and Mommy soon. We'll have lots of good times. Never forget, Daddy loves you, even though he's gone. And when we come home, Daddy will have a big hug and lots of stories to read to you. I love you, son. You be good for your mommy.